Made on Zencaster.
Can we add in like an alternate subject, because we found out today through MUFON. I don't know if you know what MUFON is, but they're an organization about aliens.
Oh.
So there's actually an article we read, and apparently there's no known cases of abductions from aliens for the LGBTQ. So that means aliens are homophobic.
Yes. Oh, didn't you know that?
Hi, I'm Billy.
And I'm Jimmy.
We are the Bulk and Skull Podcasting, and we want to welcome you to the numbskullery that is the Zeotoheropod podcast,
where creators and fans come together to share their love of their fandoms.
Welcome to this episode of Zeotohero, where I promise it's going to be more fun than us crying.
Hey, that how it happened the one time.
Yeah, that happened one time, I swear. So
why Hasbro? Why? Okay.
So I am joined once again by the beautiful Bearded, as not bearded anymore since he got spotted on Google Maps, the Yeti. So
spot on Google Maps,
Jim,
I'm not okay with that.
Have you moved? Have you been harassed by Bigfoot hunters?
The 3 Bigfoot hunters who came to my house didn't leave. They're still here. They won't leave me alone, dang it.
Oh, man.
They didn't even buy food. They went and got food and there's camp in the backyard and it's killing me.
Well, all right. So this episode tonight should be pretty fun. We are joined back from the Power Ranger Conspiracy Theory channel. The only one the FBI agent on his camera calls him a nerd, but Casey.
Sitting and twiddling your mustache too while you're at it.
You're like, yeah, full on.
Yeah.
Yeah. If only our FBI agent's seeing us now.
They'll be so proud of us.
So, how has life been for you? Because I know the last time we talked to you, your wife was about to pop.
Yes, yeah. Our episode, the episode with me aired the day my daughter was born. So,
congratulations!
Yeah.
Oh,
thank
wow.
you.
Okay,
thank you. And you guys have been so sweet. I've been listening to it, and like every once in a while, you guys are just like, "In Casey has a kid."
Yeah, we get real excited about that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys.
We don't want kids, awesome. But we want you to be happy.
Yeah.
You know what? We don't have to go down this path, but it's not for everybody, and I get that. It's for me. It's for me. I get it. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I also understand because I've met a lot of people who should not be parents who are. So
yeah, okay.
We don't know what happened there, but
in retrospect, if you ever want to drunk proof your house, just follow baby around. Whatever they grab, you wrap it up.
I never went. Okay, so I went to community college, right? I never did. I mean, I went to a university, but I commuted. I didn't live in a dorm. Never wanted to. I have had the full experience with kids. They walk around. Mm-hmm. They're falling into things. They're puking all over you. They're like, you have to put them to bed every night. I mean, it's like going to a frat party and having to take care of everybody. It really is.
Attest to this
every night.
I can prove this actually happened. I have multiple videos and pictures of me how to take care of drunk people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Jim did have to do that. Yeah. When he worked,
and
that's when Jimmy was admitted to a halfway house. He didn't work there. You know.
Oh.
Yeah. Every night outside drinking.
Oh my god!
They don't know nothing.
Oh my god! I remember one time Jim sent me some pictures of like a satanic pentagon in the background, and there was like,
that was crazy.
Burnt,
my goodness!
There was like burnt into the ground footprints back into the building. I was like, Jim, you need to quit right now.
Yeah, and the guy who was doing it, he was like, tomorrow they're gonna be in the ground tomorrow. I'm like, bull, and he's like, just watch. I went out next day. I'm like, well, there's some footprints in the ground.
Yeah, he sent me pictures.
Completely burned to the ground. Okay.
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 I'm going. I'm leaving right now.
I am
take the rest of the week off. Why? Because I am terrified.
I am terrified.
You know what? No, that stuff scares me. I'm like, because it's just like, I don't want to tempt fate. Okay. You know, it's like, it's okay if you're not religious, but I'm not going to screw with that. You know,
like we're not dealing with the commandments now. We're dealing with something way worse.
Way worse.
I'll tell you, this isn't, I mean, it wasn't a halfway house, but I worked at a concert venue and we had the Chippendales there.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Chippendales? And they had, they had an event there, and everybody, all the people that were working there were joking like, "Oh, who's gonna go to it?" We sold 666 tickets
Ow.
on the dot, and I was like, I'm out of here. I'm out. I'm not. And I mean, like because I came in like after the weekend and was like, oh, how many tickets did we end up selling? And I was like, oh my god, no.
No, it's bad. It's like when you go to Taco Bell and it comes up to $6.66.
Yeah,
You're
order
like,
something else.
Add something else to this, or add this. Add some nachos. It's fine.
Did you know I actually was I was a backup dancer for Chippendales? I was the Hefty Chip.
It was technically pronounced fully loaded chip.
Fully loaded chip.
Fully loaded chip.
Jim was broken chip. He was having a mental breakdown.
I was just go on stage and cry, and people loved it.
Hey, you know what? Girls love a sensitive guy. You go up there, just bawl your eyes out.
Yeah,
what a sensitive guy.
What is he? He's so sensitive, and then just tear a speaker in half. He's not so sensitive. Run.
Yeah, run.
Everybody run. Okay. Let's see. Want to get this started?
Yeah, as us nerds are going to get into, we're going to get into some conspiracy theories, and I love how I high pointed that
theories. One. They're not. They're unproven facts.
Unproven facts. Okay. And
sure.
And people that are listening to us that can't see us, Casey's full on like tinfoil hat. Like,
that's right.
He's got his alien radar deflector defector.
No one's getting in here, man. No one's getting in here.
The nice part is Millie and I have both lined our ceilings with tinfoil.
Yes.
We're good.
We're all right.
That's much smarter and probably not nearly as hot as well. Right?
Yeah.
What? Hold on. Shut up. No, like I'm talking to somebody over here. Stop it. Oh man. So what's first on the list here, boys?
I think we want to talk about skylines?
Yeah, city skylines. All right.
Well, if you go to the DFW area, you'll see two, because it's two cities next to each other.
Whack. So for everybody that has watched Power Rangers and not realize it, but they film every season in New Zealand, so you kind of run out of backdrops to use. So,
and specifically Auckland, New Zealand. It's the same because it's like the only city that they like have a film
studio there.
Yeah, the industry's right there.
Yeah. It's like Sydney for all of Australia. Like you only ever see Sydney and like whenever they Australia stuff.
Yeah.
And like the same thing with like LA. You only ever see LA. LA is terrible.
But yeah, if you ever watch the seasons, if you ever pay attention, you'll actually see the same backdrops in different seasons, which brings us to our point of like, do you think different seasons are in the same timeline but different times?
I feel like they go through and just change the name of the city. Like we changed the name of the city from Beach View to Ocean View. Yeah.
What's the city name in SPD?
Future City.
Is that it? Might be.
I can't remember what it was.
Because that has the I don't know what the name of it is, but in Auckland there's this huge tower, and it's very like you can't mix it up. It's definitely that tower, and I know it's in that one because I see it a lot.
New Tech City.
Tech City. Okay. And then but you see that maybe it's in Samurai too. Because I feel like there's a lot of scenes like by the dock or something, and maybe you can see it in the background. Maybe.
Yeah.
I may be wrong about that, but
unfortunately, Ranger Wiki does not give you the actual name of the city. That's great.
Huh. Well, Ranger Wiki.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's called New Tech City.
All right.
Okay. Let's do it. Look at that. That thing was cooking his brainwaves.
Oh, dude, it was hot. I had to cut it short. That was hot.
Look at that.
He's
aliens
done.
aliens can get in now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Take him out and flip him. He's done.
He's
Uh-oh.
done.
Let's
Folded
see,
him like an
SP.
omelet.
Taking quite an omelet.
Man. So
yeah, I remember it being in kind of some of the Neo Saban stuff,
Mhm.
especially. I mean, even though they've been filming there since Ninja Storm, I feel like they just kind of used that skyline in the Neo Saban era a lot.
yeah. That's actually pretty interesting though. Like, could they be in the same timeline? I know that Samurai was like in their timeline, they were like one of the first teams to set
That's-
up.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. Samurai is kind of a weird, like a lot of people think everything up to RPM was one universe, and then Samurai just restarted.
Yeah, of a
Like a
different
new
line.
universe.
maybe, but then
Yeah.
you also have bulk in there. And is it the
Yeah.
same bulk or is it a different bulk?
Right. Well,
Watch-
that's a good question because I mean, Bulk was. I mean, you can always go with he was on Terra Adventure
Mhm.
in the other universe, and it's quite possible that there's the same people in each universe.
The multiverse theory or
Yeah.
mirror universe theory. Mirror
Oh.
universe.
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe that. Do you guys think Skull married Kimberly?
It's
Oh,
a
it's
good
gotta
possibility
be.
he married Kimberly.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I mean, what else explains Spike?
Right.
Yeah. Come
It's
on.
got to be.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Like the guy she Dear John lettered to Tommy had to be Vulcan Skull or Skull
Yeah. She had been having an affair the whole time
with an idiot.
with an idiot because it was just fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and with fun, things happen.
But I have
Yeah.
to say, I think Tommy had an affair, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
there are a lot of scenes where he's walking into the juice bar with Aisha,
Mm-hmm.
and they definitely look like they were pretty chummy. And then like Kimberly's like sitting at a table looking sad, and then he kind of looks at Aisha like, "Oh yeah, I'll catch you later." And then she's like, "Okay, bye," and then just kind of prances off. And it's like, wait, what the hell was that?
Well. Tommy was a player. How about that?
Well, that's scumbag.
That's my thought process. I don't know.
He was always just appearing in Turbo, right? He was always gone in Turbo, right?
Right.
Yes.
Giving, booty calling.
Yeah, can we talk about that? How he was a horrible leader in Turbo? Well, I know people are going to get upset, but he was literally at the racetrack all the time. And
why was he always at the racetrack? He never had any interest in racing before Turbo, ever.
It's like a midlife crisis or something.
Exactly. He was like 40 at that time, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, basically. But yeah, I mean, that season, that's what ticks me off when people say Turbo was like, they shouldn't have switched the cast halfway through. It was like, dude, it was like suffocating to death.
Yeah,
That first half was terrible.
The only person who was like trying was like Adam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adam and Justin. That was really about it. Those were the only two characters that were really trying. And sometimes, sometimes Kat, but for the most part, yeah, like everyone just like did their own thing. They were doing their own thing, and Adam and Justin were the only ones like prancing around doing things. And then it was Carlos and Justin because those are the two who were the popular ones in the Sentai.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still think that the pizza thing is really funny. Like
being cooked in a pizza.
No, you see, I only use the finest ingredients in my Power Rangers pizza.
That was still funny. Like that was, I know
Right.
it's campy, but like that was stupid. I was like, it's funny. And like the fact they reference it like in like the Wild Force Forever Red episode.
Yes.
And like
so good.
There's way more weird things that happen to Rangers. Like look at MMPR season 1, 2, and 3. Weird stuff happens to Rangers constantly. And no one says anything about that. But they get cooked in a pizza one time and everyone freaks out.
People are way too critical of like future or the seasons past Mighty Morphin. I mean, and like, so we were talking about this before we started recording that Operation Overdrive to me is like the same campy level as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
It is super campy. It's really like silly.
Ashley, am I dreaming? Or is this stuff what I think it is? No, you're not dreaming. This is definitely
But
cheap.
the people who say that like Overdrive sucks and Mighty Morphin was the best. It's like they're kind of the same. Like they're
Yeah.
both pretty ridiculous, like in their own
Like you
way.
get some one-dimensional characters, you
Yeah.
you get some exceptionally one-dimensional villains, but they're all like hate each other kind of villains, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I
Like-
think the villains on Overdrive are great,
The
personally.
villains are interesting to say the least. Yeah, they're interesting.
Plus they have the Yeti. So
that's the guy who plays Mick.
yeah.
That's the first appearance we got from him. Like, so he was a Yeti, and the very first thing he did was the Yeti, and then he eventually became his own Ranger. Eventually.
Oh man! So what you're saying? He's Vulcan skulled his way to a Ranger?
Get out of here right now.
Oh come on, guys!
That man deserves our utmost respect. Vulcan Skull gets our respect, but our utmost respect.
Yeah.
That's right. And you guys got a shout out. That's so freaking awesome, dude.
Oh yeah. We got a couple actually. To be fair with you, it's been getting kind of cool. Paul Shire actually likes us. It's really funny. He like every time I add him or something like that, he always comes back and like says something, which is great every time. And then Billy did it, and he says something to Billy. I'm like, oh, nice. And yeah, it's just been kind of going up from there. It's been nice. And I'm waiting to get back to something from Jason Narvi.
Yeah, he followed me on Twitter. I was like freaking. I was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, he followed me on Twitter first, and then he followed Billy, and then he followed the show. And I'm like, yes,
that's awesome.
Yes.
Jason Narvi actually teaches in a college up in Chicago area, and a friend of mine, he went there for college.
Oh,
and so he teaches drama.
Oh,
and my friend, he's a fantastic piano player, and he played in the Pit for a musical up there. And one of the Pit members, their phone went off during a rehearsal, and it was the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger theme song.
Yes.
And Jason Harvey was like, "Turn that crap off right now! Stop it!" He was jokingly like doing it. He was like screaming at the kid, and so yeah.
I feel like both of them have come full circle where they just accept the fact they're part of the Power Rangers. Like they're done. Like it's cool. They're having fun with it, and they just enjoy the fact that they have fans. Like we're here.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if we talked about this last time, because I've talked about this before with people, that you can really tell when you look back at the first panels that were happening. And these people, is like their first time doing it. And they always their attitude is so different than today.
Yeah.
They're very like, I don't know why you people like this. I don't really get it. And they basically spend the whole time talking about other projects they did. Like, oh, I'm not a failure after Power Rangers. Look at all this other stuff I've done. And they just kind of don't really want to talk about Power Rangers. And then they just I think eventually they just realize that the fandom just really likes them, and
like
they kind of just accept it.
Look at the guy who played Andros.
He's one that definitely had that for sure.
Yeah, he had that real standoffish, like he hated Power Rangers for a long time. Now he's like, fine, whatever, guys, you all like it.
The guy who played Lucas in Time Force, Michael Coupon, he wasn't like rude about the show, but he was just kind of like kept trying to say like, no, I've done other things.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you could just tell that he kind of just went, oh, people love Power Rangers. I don't have to I don't have to try to impress people. I can just talk about Power Rangers. And enjoy it.
Same thing with the guy played Carlos. He was real standoffish there for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not really standoffish, but he was just kind of like, it's whatever. I did it. It was a paycheck, whatever. And now he's like getting really back into it. He's like, oh, dude, it was fun. Like I liked it. I don't know why I was so mad about it. I should have done more cons. Yeah. This is great.
I understand it.
Sometimes they'll actually talk about their experience and their character they played, and it fuels a lot of fan theories, and I love that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we didn't talk about this, but so I did this video about where can you watch Power Rangers, because everybody's always posting like, where can I watch it? So I thought I'll just make a video. It's gonna explode because people are always trying to find out where to watch Power Rangers. Not really, but it was cool. But I found I'm trying to remember if it was on Shout Factory.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So on Shout Factory, which did all the Power Ranger DVDs, at least back in the day, I don't know if they still do any of them, but they have like, if you go to their website, you can watch like stuff like a Netflix. It's all free.
If you go in with an ad blocker and you run an ad blocker in your browser like uBlock or something like that, it blocks all the ads they play on the stuffs and the what you call it. And I'm not endorsing using ad blockers, but if you do, you know what's up.
But so there's a special feature video on there, and it is about the villains. There's like 3 of them, and I can't find them anywhere but on Shout Factory. So if you want to watch it, I'll send you a link. But there is a segment where the gal who played Divatox in the actual show, not the one who played it in the movie.
Yeah.
But she says, yeah, I played Divatox. It was great. And then they asked me if I could play her sister, Dimitri. And it's like, because they never have actually said, yes, they are sisters. They hinted at it. But she, in that interview, says, yeah, her sister.
Oh, man.
And just like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
no.
Now, for the people that don't really know, Dimitri replaces Zordon in Turbo.
Yes.
So
the one who always asks a lot, like every statement she has is a question.
Yeah.
Except about halfway through the season.
Yeah, like
and then she just starts talking normal.
Yeah. It's like the jive talking alpha. That was
oh man, that was rough.
Yo.
Yeah.
That was ear bleeding. But
yo, whatever. Rangers, let's do this.
She's beautiful.
She's Demetria from the planet Inquiris. Makes a heck of an entrance, don't she?
Do you know who we are?
Do you know who we are?
Of all the things with Turbo, that's the one thing I really just did not care for in Turbo was that alpha voice.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I can live with it. It's fine. Like, it's all good. Like the last final battle was great, but the alpha thing was just hard.
Yeah. Stop blaming Blake Foster. Okay, stop blaming Blake Foster for for it being bad. He's great. He's a great child actor.
Fine. Yeah, he was fine. He's a bad person now. I don't really care for him as a person now, but he did fine.
He did fine. It was the alpha. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was alpha. Alpha ruined the whole thing. And then they brought back Alpha, a variation of Alpha that talked similar to that for Operation Overdrive. That was a little rough.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. But whatever. Whatever. And they didn't even get like a good voice actor to come back for. They brought back some random person to do the voice acting for Alpha, and it was just
Speaking of Alpha, in Dino Fury, the T-Rex one or the Velociraptor help for the Power Rangers. So there's an episode where if something gets on them, they turn to wood, right? They become petrified wood, right? Only humans. It only affects humans. But she got on her and she turned to petrified wood. But she's a robot.
No, she's a cyborg.
Shut your mouth.
You know what a cyborg is, right? It's It's something that's half organic, half robotic.
Right.
All right. And so she's
just like the Black Ranger from RPM.
Yeah.
Black Ranger from RPM, and then like Mac, the Red Ranger from Operation Overdrive, was not a cyborg. He was a robot. He was an android.
Yeah.
Full android. So he was completely autonomous, but he was a robot. So Tanaya 7 from RPM, she was an android.
Now, do you think that Mac considers himself related to J-Borg?
No.
Dino Fury?
I don't believe so.
I don't know.
He at the end of the series, he's a real boy. He was real.
He got Pinocchio.
Yeah, but I mean, she's Hartford Robotics. And I mean, he was a robot built by Mr. Hartford.
But at the end of the series, he's his son at the end of the series. Like he was based for his son. So I get where you're coming from, but I just don't see it.
No, I'm just. I know. I'm not going. I'm not dying on this hill. I'm not.
Yeah.
Well, this is the anthill you'll die on, right?
Yeah.
Full of fire ants.
J-Borg is like my spirit animal. Said no one ever.
Hey, J-Borg, like the first time you see her, she's really annoying, but I don't know. I feel like she grows on you over time. Like I don't hate her. It's like It's fine.
Her and Jane are legitimately becoming two of my favorite.
Yeah.
Like not my absolute favorite, but two of my top like
Comic relief.
comedy relief. Because when you really break down, Jane is like one of the best people, like as far as comic relief, because everything she does is like she's in the park teaching kids how to call the hotline if
Yeah.
a sporks beast appear. Like she's trying to do good things in the world, even though she's like doing this buzz blast thing, but she's also out like trying to find stories and doing things. She's not just sitting in an office yelling at people.
She also promoted Amelia to running the whole place because she knew she could do it, because she's the only one like she trusted. Like she promoted the right person, and you know, while she took her vacation, and then on top of that, you know, she's always trying to do the right thing, and is kind of a weirdo. And honestly, one of the best comic reliefs of the whole series. Like, far better than Victor and Monty.
Yeah,
Dude,
there's when you really like look at their, because you have to really pay attention, because it goes so fast that if you're not really paying that much attention, it's hard. But I think it's the 4th episode of Dino Fury. There's a scene where they're like they get into like they fall into like a trash can and fly down this thing, and then when they get out, they fall into the trash can because a sporks beast appears, and Kira Josephson, who plays the Jane, her facial expression is so funny. It is amazing. It's just this look of dread, like what is happening, and it's so funny, but it's like a split second.
Positive B movie dread look on her face.
Oh, it's hilarious. And and those are the things, because I've been watching it over and over, and like every time I'm like, gosh, they are so funny. They really are good actors. They just it's so quick that you have to like really, really watch it.
Okay,
to catch all their little things.
I'll have to rewatch it again, because like when I watch it, I watch it and I'm like doing something else
right.
with it, because you know I'm that kind of person. But like just even their back and forth is still kind of fun. Like I have no problems with their back and forth. It's fun. It's quirky. You know, and they're good people. Like Victor and Monty weren't really that great of people. They're really annoying. So whatever. But they're fun. They have a company. It's you know they employ people. They hire on Pop to do all the work around the place, and he's oh my god, he is adorable. The date episode, that was the cutest thing.
That was good, which is funny because that's definitely they're poking at the older audience. With that,
well, like I watched an episode, I'm like, oh, not one of these episodes. And then I watched it.
I do tell you, the first half of the second season is very good. Like I have never been hooked into a season like I am with this one.
Just that opening scene of Zato like running across the roof.
Oh my god!
It was like, and then they pop out of the windows. I was like, holy crap! They just like took the action level from like pretty good to like holy cow! Like it was amazing.
I feel like Hasbro really has a good idea where they want to take the PR series. Because that was filmed here, or not here, but it was filmed by Hasbro. Like that was in the Sentai episode.
That was actually here.
That was done here, and like there's a couple things like, you can tell whenever they switch, because the suits get super shiny. So that's the one big giveaway. Always is the suits get super shiny. But like honestly, Hasbro's doing a lot of filming, like action filming, a lot of it.
They do a majority of it now.
A great job with it.
Yeah. They're doing a majority of it. And I mean, all the way back to like Forever Red. The action scenes in Forever Red are amazing. Dude, it's like Matrix like inspired. It's so good.
They got a couple of Matrix shots,
and it's like I'm really excited to see them take the reins, you know, if they do, because they broke their contract with Toei.
Yeah.
So it's like if they do all original, I'm excited to see what they do with it. Because
I really hope they don't do like a MMPR like recap. I really hope they don't do that.
I hope they don't do a reboot.
Well, I don't. Oh, a reboot? Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do a reboot. I think they're pretty set on like we're moving past this.
Yeah, hopefully they do that, because they have good suit designers. Like they can do good stuff. Like look at the other properties. Look at look at Transformers.
Right.
Look how well the movies did for Transformers. Look how good like the Siege series. Look at the War for Cybertron series. That was great. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, that was great. And it's nothing it's based off of. It's an original story kind of thing, and
Yeah.
Hasbro's doing all of that. And so I'm really looking forward to Hasbro. Like I want to see what they do, but I really hope they don't like screw us on it.
Here, don't you screw this up.
Right.
I'm like, come on, Hasbro.
What do you guys think as far as would you want them to start like a team and go like 4 or 5 seasons with that team, or do you want it to remain like one team a season and move on, next team season move on?
I would prefer actually both, because if you take one team and go 4 seasons, that's a lot of character development. That's you're giving them options for different powers, different suits, different swords. But if you do one season, all I ask is if you do like the Super Sentai where it's like 50 episodes, you know, don't cut it, and don't half it, just do a continuous 50 episodes or something, you know. But
Yeah, I don't want to. That's the thing I'm worried about, is that they'll do this where Power Rangers becomes like 13 episodes. And it's like, no.
I would love to see them do this thing where they have like the suits and the Zords they want to use, because they're gonna do all the filming for this anyways. So they're doing all of this. So they would be interchanging characters out as they go. Like they would lose a character here and there, and they would change out new characters within the cast. And then eventually we would have a whole like separate cast from the original one. But I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not like, Turbo, they changed the cast halfway through because contract disputes. But no, like eventually like, changing out characters and seeing their interactions. Like look at Legends of Tomorrow. And please do not do what DC did with The Flash. Don't do that. The rest of it, though...
I haven't watched The Flash, so I don't know.
Don't do it. It's not worth it at all. Like watch The Arrow. That's enough to fill in the gaps. But have your main set. Have them have some not adult situations, but like mature content. Not content, but mature like episodes.
Right.
Get more Rangers like coming back. Exchange out Rangers, like someone could die, you can deal with death, you can deal with more topics if you have more fleshed out characters. That's what I want to see anyways.
I hope that they just, I don't know, man. Power Rangers has so much to it that I don't know. I mean, my son is 2.5, and right now I have to basically like, if we watch like so many episodes of Spider-Man and the Amazing Spidey Friends on Disney, I have to be like, okay, we're watching a Power Rangers now, because I want my son to appreciate Power Rangers. But the thing is, like, every time I watch this freaking Spidey show, I'm like, it's I don't know if you've heard of this, but it's like a kids Spider-Man show. And so it's very like lighthearted. The bad guys are just pulling pranks on people, and they all have, first of all, so it's Spider-Man, Spin, or Miles Morales, and Ghost Spider, Gwen, and they have a base, like a command center, where they have all their stuff, and then they have a little robot spider thing that's like their companion, just like Alpha. And then they all have wrist comms, which are freaking communicators. And then they all have their vehicles, and it's like, this is Power Rangers. Like, it's ticking me off. This is Power Rangers. And I keep thinking, I hope Netflix could see that, like, in addition to making like more mature show, we could make a kids show of Power Ranger characters where we just do an animated series.
We talked about this so recently. Actually, we did talk about this, where they would have a mature-ish series, and then they would have more of a kids themed series. And like they would run like animate it kind of real quick, and like real quick kind of get it out there for kids to enjoy it, and then grow into it, and have a more mature version of it, like mature series for us adults. Like what the series does that? Like Marvel does that, where they have the kids stuff, and then they have the adult stuff.
And see, here's my pitch, which they probably won't do if they didn't think of it, but I think they need to do a kids show of the Dino Charge world. And it's all based around Kendall Morgan running the Dino Zoo, and it's like there's dinosaurs, like real dinosaurs that they're like, you know, feeding and doing stuff with, and then it's just like her, Coda, and Sir Ivan.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
They'd be like the three most, like Sir Ivan and Coda are like two of the most like lovable characters, and they're so odd and have like such a specific way of talking. That'd be fun.
One's a knight, one's a caveman.
Yeah,
that'd be
and
fun.
And the actress who plays Kendall Morgan is Claire Blackwelder, something like that. But she's a really good singer. She's very talented. It's like she would be able to hold that show, and like if they had songs or something weird, like she could do it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's my pitch. Only because I've been watching so many kids shows with my son, and he doesn't want to watch Power Rangers.
So Hasbro, if you're listening to this, me and Jim are sorry from Zeo to Hero podcast. We didn't mean to mess about you for your 13-minute live stream.
we didn't talk smack about them. We just said we were disappointed. That was it.
We want more.
We want more. Yeah.
We just want to be respected and loved by you.
Yeah.
That's it. Just want to be respected, loved, and paid.
We get it.
Yeah.
Marvel's paying the bills. We get it.
Yeah.
And Transformers, but we want to pay the bills too.
Yeah.
You know?
I want to
be able to pay an electric bill this year.
Yeah. I want. Yeah. For real. Yeah. Oh man.
If you want to officially sponsor us, you can get a contact with us with a zeotoheropod@gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
That's an agreement. We'll read it over with our lawyers.
Yeah, and our lawyer you can find at Casey at conspiracytheories.gov.
Well, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I have to have my legal team ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it Mighty Morphing at conspiracytheory.legal?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't have that. I don't even have a Weebly. That's right.
Oh man.
Dang shame.
I know.
Even Ben has an email. Come on, man.
So okay, so I got one for y'all because I would want to talk to Casey about this one. So as we were talking about Dino Fury, so when they bring Zed back, right? And they bring back Zed pre-MMPR at his strongest.
Yes.
So after me and Jim talked about this on one of our other episodes, but he manhandles the evil, like the evil guys, right? And the Power Rangers, yeah, like nothing. And at the right before he disappears, he says, "I'm gonna go find my staff."
You parasites so lucky that bumbling sorcerer couldn't find my staff.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so but as we all know, in Grid Battle Force and Beast Morphers, you do see a staff in the background in the vault.
That's right.
So the question,
and everybody does know that.
Yes. The question is,
if you don't pay attention,
if you don't know that, you should listen to our podcast called Zeo to Hero.
That's right.
Yeah. So now my question is, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is a setup for like a 30th season, or?
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to. There's been rumors that at the end of the series or in the next half, like Zed is going to become the main antagonist. I've heard rumors about that, but I don't know if it's true. It would be, I think, so much better. It'd be the perfect setup for the 30th season to have Zed as the main villain.
I want Zed to show up at the very end of the second of season 2, and just wipe the floor, like just completely like wipe the floor with the Rangers,
right?
And like just like done. We're done with this. I have my staff back. We're done. And then we start the season. Like the season 30 pops up, going, the Rangers are down.
Yeah, the signal is calling.
The best.
And this walks in. Then out of the white bright light of a off-world command center of Aquitar comes Billy Cranston as the Phantom Ranger.
Oh no, you can't jump
like
that.
He just puts the helmet on, but like, let's go.
Let's go.
Oh man, oh my god. I'll be great. Like he has to wear the suit to keep him young, and he puts the helmet on and goes back into action and just puts the helmet on.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness, it's great.
What they should do is have the Phantom Ranger come out and everybody go,
like, is this him?
Billy?
Huh?
And then Billy just like comes from the portal behind the Phantom Ranger, like, hey guys,
Yes.
I have a friend with me. That would be great.
Oh my goodness, that would be fantastic.
But not any Phantom Ranger, the white Phantom Ranger.
Oh,
you can't use that one.
Damn it, that's a comic. Never mind, you're right.
Yeah, you can't use that one. You can't bring that one in because he's part of the morphing grid at this point.
Oh.
If you read the comics, you would know.
Well, sorry.
Yeah.
You know I can't do the reads.
We all know you failed 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade English. It's fine. After they just stop trying.
I don't need it. No.
Nah.
Why use lot word when few word do trick?
That took talent.
Yeah.
That was good. Are you ever see? I kind of do have like, I don't know if it's really dyslexia, but it's like kind of dyslexia. I don't know, maybe a mild case of dyslexia. And I said this has been a while, but I said aminal instead of animal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was honestly just impressed. My brain
put that together,
connected it. Like, how did it switch? Like, I'm surprised that I didn't just say animal or animal. Or something like that.
The sad part is my iPhone autocorrects a lot of my stuff, so I'll be like missing words completely, and I'm like, damn, I really sound dumb.
You go back and reread your text, you're like, wow.
Yeah, I'll go back through and I'll read them like, wow. My bad.
Swinging and miss with that one today, guys.
I'm apparently illegitimate. I mean, illiterate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
No, but no, back to the the Zed thing. I hope, man, it would be such an awesome character. And I was going to ask this, I don't remember. Does he say like, oh, Rangers, like when he sees them?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember if he does.
So. He might.
Because I mean, he's conquered universe, like galaxies.
Yeah.
So he very well could have offed many different Power Ranger teams over
because if you read the comics and stuff, there's more Rangers out there. Like in even the show, there's more Rangers out there. We've lost a lot of Rangers. We even had special Rangers in Megaforce. We had special Rangers that were no longer they were Earth Rangers.
Who've never
never
been to
Rangers
Earth.
or Legacy Rangers. And then we also have that in the comics as well, where other Ranger teams are part of different universes. So maybe, like I'll pull the clip and put it in here and see. If it's there, we'll put it right here.
Yeah. And then right there.
How I've missed you, Power Nanny.
If anybody's interested in that, not to do too much plugging, but I do I have a video talking about the Ranger teams never seen on Earth from Megaforce, and they were referenced in Dino Thunder.
Ooh,
like it's kind of crazy. Like it works out really well, and I don't know how much they planned it, and I don't know how much of this, like the Boom comics are taking it even further now.
Oh, the Boom comics are doing fantastic.
Speaking of Dino Thunder, so in the Dino Charge series, there's a big team up from MMPR, Dino Charge, and Dino Thunder. So Jason comes back as like basically the lead for this crossover, and then you see portals open up, and you see morphed teams come in. How do you think they got there? Like, are they bridged together, or like?
I have a good theory for this, but Casey, if you got something, let at it, and I have one I think I'll follow up with after yours.
I mean, I don't really have anything crazy besides just like they've teamed up before for the Legacy War and some of that stuff. Not all of them have, but some of them have. So I mean, I would assume they're just kind of on call, and Jason's the man, so it's like, Jason's calling you, you better be there.
Yeah.
But I don't really have any other. I would love to hear your theory because I haven't really thought about it that much.
Oh, I got a great one. Okay, come on, get this one out. Okay, so Sentinel Knight, right? You know Sentinel Knight?
Yes.
Okay, this goes back to him and his ability to restore powers. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the series, he end of the series of Operation Overdrive, he just dusts in the wind, right? He doesn't really do it. He just kind of disappears. I think he goes back to the morphing grid, but he has sentience in the morphing grid. Whenever anything big happens where they have to pull a bunch of people, like a bunch of Rangers, he gets involved. Because once he gets back in the morphing grid, he's fully powered. Because we saw him at half power when he was a ghost form, pull 5 Rangers and restore their powers,
at
including a broken morpher. Restore them to the morphing grid and let them have their powers back, and pulled Bridge from space and time at a quarter of his power. Time done.
Amazing.
So I think he's just kind of chilling out. Him and Jason are pretty cool because who's not gonna be cool with Jason?
Right.
Come on,
Jason's the best.
Cool dude. And the morphing grid was like, hey, we have a problem because the morphing grid is sentient too. Plain and simple, the morphing grid is sentient. It takes whatever form it needs to take and does whatever it needs to do to restore balance.
Now,
so it was like Sentinel Knight. We gotta start pulling things right now. Sentinel Knight's like, got you.
The question is though, because in Dino Fury they actually meet morphing masters. Do you think that they might have played a part in that?
Yeah, that's what they've Dino Fury's kind of made it to where like the Morphin Masters rule all.
Well, the Morphing Masters, if you read through the comics, the Morphing Masters are kind of dead.
Yeah.
Well, they're long gone.
Yeah, one.
You had the Sentinels, the morphing Sentinels, like the red Sentinel, the red, blue, and yellow Sentinels. You have them. The Morphing Masters are kind of long since gone.
Yeah.
There was one left, and he got annihilated, which is great. He was the crazy one.
Didn't he get beat by the Solar Rangers in the comics? He controlled the Void. The Void.
Yeah, he was controlled the Void with the ginormous Zeo crystal.
The Zeo crystal planet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's called Beyond the Grid. It's called Beyond the Grid.
Yeah. Right.
Beyond the Grid. It's a great arc. I love it. It's really good. There's some great love interest between Mike and Tanya.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The yellow Zeo Ranger and the black Lost Galaxy Ranger.
Magna Defender.
Oh, good for them. They both deserve love, for God's sakes.
It's a great story because they, one was pulled out of time, the other one was supposed to be dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they have a great love story where, like, they're talking about how they just got uprooted from their lives and supposed to done.
Yeah.
So it's good. But so that the last Morphing Master was in that universe, and he got his butt whooped.
Yes.
By the Solos Rangers. But the Morphing Masters, they created the Morphing Grid, and really want to get into it. They were sort of the first Ranger teams, and they were the first Ranger team. And they had, if you want to get to the comics, they were the first Squadron. They were a Squadron team with which was the Dire Ranger suits.
Dire
So
Ranger.
White Ranger.
Oh, so because I haven't. I know they were going to use those suits in the comic, but I didn't know whatever really happened with it.
So they were the first suit for the very first Morphing Masters.
No kidding. Okay.
That's where that's part of the Universe Comics. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Crazy, right? But so that's where that's kind of going. That's where the White Phantom Ranger is into. So he was part of that arc and series. And so far, that's where it's going. The new comics, at the time of recording, number 5 has just been released, and I haven't got it yet. So I haven't read it, so I don't know what's going on with that. This could be completely wrong, and I could be completely wrong at this point. So take it with a huge grain of salt, and blame Billy for this if I'm wrong.
Well, I got a question for you, because you guys were talking in your last podcast about the morphing grid being like yin and yang sort of thing, where the evil it's like I don't know, it's like I think that the Rangers are really just a response to the evil.
Because the morphing grid itself is not proactive. Playing so it's not. It's really not, because they get their weapons after the bad guys already powered up. They get all their new stuff after the fact. And I was talking about we were talking about the Psycho Rangers and how they were like overly powered.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The evil guys are always more powerful.
Yeah. And my theory is there was a large power vacuum from the good side. So like yin and yang, they had to kind of balance itself out, and so they created the Psycho Rangers to balance themselves out from the Zeo Powers. which kind of could make sense if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, if you think about it.
No, I think it's I think that's a great theory, and I like the idea of it because so they in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers there is a part where Alpha uses the morphing grid to grow flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just like, I'm going to channel the morphing grid, and then these flowers pop up, which
Oh,
basically, and he also does this in the Alpha's Magical Christmas. He basically uses the morphing grid to like make things appear and like make things.
well,
Which people can say that's not canon, but it also happened to show with the flower. And so my theory is that Rita possesses the green power coin and that her magic is from the morphing grid.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so,
well, if you
that's
also
my theory on
if
it.
you look at Beast Morphers, they actually channel the morphing grid as a power source.
Right.
So that could be possible. Rita could be using the grid as.
If you really get into it, like the morphing grid itself feels life. Like it's all there everywhere. And so magic is also part of the morphing grid. Because, you know,
I mean, Mystic Force.
Mystic Force proves
part of the
that
morphing
too,
grid.
yeah.
And so, she could be pulling it from the morphing grid. And same with Zed. He was pulling all of his power from the morphing grid, if you read the comics. I like to talk about the comics.
Well, he made his own Dark Rangers.
Yes.
So that has to have some sort of connection.
Speaking of Dark Rangers, I would definitely love to see the Psychos come back because those data cards still got to be floating out there somewhere.
Yeah, those data cards are still floating around. Yeah,
that would be such a great mini series, like a series on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
It's just Psycho Rangers coming back. Yeah.
I want to see like it'd be kind of cool, but it's not gonna ever happen. Like they wrote them into a corner basically in the comics.
Yeah,
the comics are canon with the show in that area, so that's where it's canon, and that's what happens at the end of it, and that's what happens with them. And so they're kind of written into a corner where they're kind of no longer evil. Like they got rid of the Green Ranger, who was the source of like the evil in the group.
But that would be awesome too. I would love to see that. Could you
I would
imagine
love the Green Ranger to come back, and be like, "I'm still the Green Psycho Ranger, guys."
just them fighting some great evil Psycho Rangers and the Space Rangers and like Lost Galaxy all together.
Ooh,
that would be awesome. That'd be an awesome team up.
I want to see an older set of Rangers come back and be like, oh, I want to see the not the original, like I want to see the it could be the original, but the original Lost Galaxy Rangers show back up and grab the Quasar Sabers. Like, we got to do this again. God, why?
why do we keep putting these back in the rock?
Like, to stop taking them out of the rock.
Over.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to see. I just really want to see that happen. Where they're like, gotta do this again. I thought we had Ranger teams for this already. And then like the in Space Rangers, like say TJ's back and he's now the Red Ranger. Like, haha, I'm back at the Red Ranger post again, suckers.
I mean that would be cool though to see like a cut screen of the sabers being pulled again.
Oh, wouldn't that be an awesome like teaser?
Dude, that would be pure nostalgia for us.
Just like a lightning storm in this like forest.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just comes down and all you see is like the handle of the Quasar
like,
Saber and then just a hand grabbing it and like it slightly moves and that's like the trailer. That'd be like, you know? That'd be amazing.
There's not enough.
Yeah.
Like, oh god, that'd be so great.
I wish
that.
But in the background you could hear ay. like Alpha's leading them to pull the sabers.
No,
there's a great evil coming.
Saber.
Ay. Get the
Quasar. That would be fantastic because they had a scene like that in Lightspeed where Leo grabbed a saber to go fight with the Rangers, and that would be so cool.
And they do that in Forever Red too. They show him pulling it out. Yeah,
I'm on board with that because the guy who played Leo is still pretty big, not big, but he's still pretty cool with the PR people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, totally do that.
Though,
like, I would love to see In Space come back. I would love to see like Justin come back for just like an episode.
Yeah.
And be like, hey guys, I'm still here.
Though,
kicking butt, taking
what would
names.
be interesting though to see is the Psychos turn heel and fight with the Rangers for the big bad.
No, okay. I want to see Justin show up in a hoopty Jeep. That's supposed to be the
supposed to be
Jeep,
the light.
Yes, Storm Blaster.
Storm
Storm
Blaster.
Blaster,
Yeah.
but since he pulls his power from Storm Blaster and not like the Morpher pulls his power from Storm Blaster, and every time he uses his powers, it damages Storm Blaster, like pulls up in a hoopty.
Can we just talk about the fact that in space, when the episode of Friend in Need, I think that's what's called, right? Friend in Need, when Justin goes to help the In Space Rangers, that the Jeep, the Jeep and comes and kidnaps him in the middle of the night.
And no one says
Nobody
anything about
says
it.
nothing.
Well, I mean, they have to be hush hush because his dad doesn't know he's a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
I feel like his dad would be like, "Why is my son getting in some dude's Jeep in the middle of the night?"
Like, I mean, he was honking his horn, right? Wasn't the Jeep like honking the horn?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, Justin's dad is probably the worst dad in the series. I mean, his son is out like his son skipped like 4 grades to go to high school.
Oh yeah.
He is never around.
Never ever around. Always he gallivants. He comes back with sunburns. You don't even ask him why he's sunburned.
Yeah.
He was on a ship for like a week and a half. Like it wasn't overnight. They were on that ship for a while in the movie.
Yeah. And he's like, I was just on a desert planet rescuing my,
Yeah, exactly. Like I just gallivanted across the universe to help my friends out. Oh no, Dad! What has happened? Why is my pajamas so dusty?
Yeah, all for a Camaro.
Yeah, exactly. All for a bad Camaro.
Speaking of the Turbo, the movie. Oh man, so I got a little heated on it on a Baker Rangers podcast about this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now hear me out. Okay, in the movie,
I'm hearing you.
In the movie,
do we have to?
In the movie, so they are standing there in the command center and they create the turbo powers, right? Not Billy, but Tommy. Was it Aisha?
Well, do they just access it, don't they? They don't
actually
make them.
In the movie, like as they're coming down, they're actually like creating them, like the 4 Rangers. So they, it zooms in. They got their morphers. They got their keys, right? 4 minutes later, they just so happen to have to board an ancient boat that just so happens to have the right key slots when they just created them 4 minutes ago. How?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
I'm gonna go with a very, very reasonable explanation. Is the power grid works in mysterious ways.
Very apparently. Yeah.
May the power protect you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe the keys themselves existed, and the keys have some sort of power source, and the power of turbo, and then they created the morphers, and the morphers are only, the keys just power them.
Yeah,
right.
The key is a conduit, basically. So
yeah,
it could. Well, like we had discussion about this earlier too, about how the morphers are conduits for power in the body,
right,
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about how Zeo up to Zeo, whenever they did the power exchanges, they would use that sword of light, and then Kimberly, who gave her power to Kat, but when she gave her power to Kat, she didn't have to transfer her power, right? Like she didn't do that big, humongous, grandiose thing with the sword. But then the comics, she comes back with another pink team, like the whole team is back in pink because she has residual pink ranger powers.
Right.
And then they go into Zeo. This is my theory for Turbo, by the way. So they go to Zeo and they have the power of Zeo in them, and the Zeo crystals are just conduits for that power in them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when they get to Jason had Red Ranger, like he had his power stripped with the Red Ranger power, but he had the Omega Ranger power, and then he comes back for Zeo, and he has he starts getting hurt from the Zeo Gold Ranger power because he still has residual Omega Ranger power, and his body can't handle the 2 power sets, and the Zeo power set is designed for a person with three people inside of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a gay joke. That's just how it's set up. And so when the Rangers lost their powers they lost their power coins in MMPR 3 season 3, they lost their power coins.
Right.
They were starting to lose their actual powers because the conduits were gone. So they were starting to lose their power. So that's why they could survive the Zeo crystals a lot longer. But Zordon knew this was going to happen. This is why he had to make the turbo powers to help conduit the power the power they held, and that's why they had that big old Grandioso thing on the very end of Turbo and Turbo, like the Grandioso power shift in Turbo, where they lost their suits of powers and they transferred over to the new people that didn't have their powers anymore. And so when Turbo died, like the Turbo power, the conduit was gone, like the keys were gone, the conduit was gone, and I'm pretty sure they didn't get more powers or transfer the powers over at some point. It'd be a lot worse for him. Hence why later on, once he started getting a little further down the line, the powers are part of the morphers and not part of the people. So you could transfer the look at Sky and Jack, right? Jack hands him his morpher to morph into the Red Ranger. No problems at all. He was still holding the Blue Ranger morpher too. No problems at all, because they realize that you have to make the power part of the morpher and not part of the person.
Yes.
Right.
Now, in some seasons, you actually see that the power gives them unmorphed ability as well.
Right.
Yeah, like Dino Thunder.
Dino Thunder does it.
Ninja Steel.
Well, and I think that RPM, or I have a video on that too. The RPM, the whole theory that the RPM universe is the SPD universe.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a video on that where I go into it. But I think that the SPD world works very, very differently than like the rest of the universes.
Okay.
Because even in RPM, it's like once they locked into that morpher, no one else could use it. So that's why the whole Ziggy, morphing was like a big problem. The SPD world, I think I think maybe they figured out how to break away from it being like a DNA connection. And
I think what happened. Oh, I know I've heard this theory before. We've talked about it before here too, where the RPM came before SPD, and so SPD was essentially the later on series. And so the first set of powers were linked into the DNA because they couldn't figure out how to get rid of it, like get rid off of that.
Right.
Same concept as original MMPR. Eventually, they kind of figured it out as they went. That just kind of put it with the people. The only thing it doesn't explain is why is then the powers for like Dino Fury and stuff, and the key, like the Ranger key, that they have there, and not with the person. But Dino Charge was in the person, not the power. Like they had the conduit, the power with the crystals, and they have to recharge the crystals, but they were still the conduits.
And they always had to carry the crystals too with them.
Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Maybe it might just be a Ninjor thing, because Ninjor created the first set of Power Rangers, and he might have just not been able to figure it out. Same thing with Dr. K, because she was freaking out because there was a virus going around killing everyone, and she's like, "Well, we got to fix this now. What's the fastest way to do it? We'll lock it to their DNA. Done. It's safe. It's with that person. That person dies. The powers are gone. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's because like if any of the Rangers died, the power would have been gone with the Ranger, and so it was a safeguard. So even if they got the key and the morpher, they couldn't use it because the power was in the Ranger.
That was the same. That was the concept of Time Force. They had to link to their DNA.
Let me do this. Hold on.
Well, and I don't know. That's a double-edged sword though, because if anybody can morph and use your morpher, then you couldn't stop the bad guys from just stealing your morpher, and now they're the Red Ranger.
Yeah.
Well, that happened with who was it? That happened with the in space Yellow Ranger, and Strama showed up and took her power.
Oh yeah, did she? Oh, she did morph. Yeah,
she did morph. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did. She did to sneak in with them,
because that power was set up, and it could be transferred between people.
Yeah, because his former team.
The only thing it doesn't explain is why does Zane then have to go through and like recharge himself and not die? Well, was he? No, he was recharging the morpher. He was recharging the morpher. It wasn't himself.
Yeah.
He was recharging the morpher. He was burning through the power cells and stuff on his morpher to stay alive because the cryo ship was damaged, or the cryopod was damaged, and the suit was keeping him alive because that's what the suit does. It's designed to keep you alive. So you can just hand off the power to whoever needs it next. It wasn't connected to him, but he was being done by standing in an electric storm. Like, I'm gonna go stand in electricity.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're crazy, I guess it
Yeah,
works.
he's a crazy guy.
But well, and speaking of like we're going on the like Zeo Powers being so powerful, do you think Ryan from Lightspeed Rescue could have handled it?
No,
No,
no.
because the quantum powers are like, or not
The titanium.
titanium powers. Titanium powers are like Carter couldn't even.
Well,
He couldn't even do it. It was too much for him.
At that point, I would say that Carter was used to the Red Ranger powers, and so the Red Ranger powers had a different kind of not feel to them, like a different power set, basically.
Mm.
And every in the comics and everything else, like whenever they change powers, the power sets are different. They have to readjust to that. And so I'm pretty sure it's a shock to his system that he just couldn't handle.
Right.
Like jumping into a cold pool, like when it's a hot day, it just freaks you out for a second. I think that might have been it. And Ryan was already like dealing with the cobra tattoo, killing him slowly. That was another thing, and maybe he might have just been used to having overwhelming power around him all the time because he was always hanging out diabolical.
That's why I think Ryan can withstand more because he just had such a odd environment growing up, and like he just can.
But I don't think anyone can handle the Zeo powers. Just plain and simple, like they had them. There was a testing ground to make sure it worked. And
well, then how do you explain all the like legacy war and stuff? Then do you have a theory on that?
That's what I was just about to ask.
Because at that point, wouldn't the powers be so extreme they couldn't withstand morphing anymore?
I don't even think they showed up in the legendary battle.
They used I want to say Sentinel Knight came back for the Legacy Wars, pulled everyone down, and used the Zeo powers to fuel everyone, basically.
Oh,
that's my theory.
As like a one center grid power source. Because I mean, if you in the comics, when they're on the planet Zeo Crystal Planet, their powers are restored.
Yeah.
So that's
it's morphing grid energy. Like it's a lot of like it's not Zeo energy, it's morphing grid energy. It's building up.
So maybe they can use.
That's what I think they did. Is it pulled the Zeo Rangers and used the Zeo crystals. Basically, it was being stored up all the energy.
You don't see the Zeo Rangers
them
in
as
there.
a conduit.
Yeah, you don't see the
in where
in the legendary battle.
Yeah, you do. They're in there.
The what?
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah,
they're there.
Yeah. Okay,
they're there.
Yeah, they're there. Like
the Red Ranger's missing at the beginning.
Well,
so
of course.
Tommy isn't there, which I mean, technically they kind of got right, but then in the background during the fight scenes, he's there.
I think you can assume he's using a Master Morpher at that point.
That's what I think, and I also think that the Green Ranger that is up in the very front, I think that's Tom Oliver, the clone.
Oh,
which
that's a good one. I've read that they're Tommy Oliver and Tom Oliver are clones. Well, one's a clone of the other.
Tom
my only
is
thought
the
is my only thought is they use the Zeo crystals, and that Sentinel Knight brought everyone together. Like Sentinel was like, everyone's coming here from time and space. Cool.
Yeah.
How are we gonna feel this? Zeo powers.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
Essentially, that the legendary battle was kind of cool, but that the one 15-minute scene we got married to the.
Oh yeah, it was such a build up. Such a build up. And for like 2 years, it was like, oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And then I was like, oh, they just did not.
Then you see it, and you're like, swing and a miss.
Yep.
They could have done so much more.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
it. Yeah.
And there's so many. I mean, I know they had to refilm a lot of it because the Sentai one had all the teams prior to Power Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
But there's still so many scenes where you can see other Sentai teams.
I don't know why they didn't
there.
just do it the dang selves. I don't know why they didn't do that the dang selves. Like just do it. You can get the suits from Toei. Like Toei would have gave you the suits to do this.
Oh, they had the suits. I mean, they had all the suits.
Yeah, like
I mean, because they did film part of it themselves.
Yeah, like you could do it, but I don't know. Like I don't know what's going on with Saban at the time.
Like you were talking earlier, that in Megaforce and Super Megaforce that they said there was off-world teams.
Right.
Maybe that could have been the off-world teams, some of the Sentai versions that we didn't get.
Well, and the thing is, some of them, like, well, the Squadron Rangers are there. So if we go with the Boom Studio comics, that would mean that the Morphin Masters were present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fighting, and the Prism Rangers were there.
Yeah.
But they're presumed to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
So and I mean, there's a bunch. I try and think of the other teams on there. That's also on my video.
Well, you got the loot ranger, the musical rangers. They showed up at some point.
Oh, the Super Phonic Rangers.
Yeah, and they're actually, so those rangers are the ones that became the Psycho Rangers.
Well, it's the Green Ranger did. He killed his whole
Yeah.
team, and then he went off and became the Green Psycho Ranger.
Jesus Christ!
But spoiler alert. But yeah, he.
I'm gonna do a spoiler alert thing, like right after the spoiler alert, after we already said everything, just like a big blah, spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Damn.
After it.
Which, should we take a second, and are we just going down one rabbit hole after another?
Yeah.
Is this making any sense to anybody?
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Any sense to you guys? Just leave us a comment down below, like over there, down somewhere, and let us know what your thoughts are on this. Because, and if you're lost, let us know you're lost, and we'll just giggle a little bit. Like,
but this is what we love. We love to do this.
Try to explain what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I love talking about it. No, I could talk about the Legacy War all day because there's so many errors, which I love errors because that means I get to be a conspiracy theorist and like try to explain why it is that way.
And not the studio is lazy. No, there's a whole story behind it.
There's a whole story behind it.
Yeah. No, you got to connect it. You have to connect it. Which I don't know if you guys have anything else on the subject. I was gonna change the subject if.
No, go ahead. What you got?
We got stuff on everything, man. Come on.
So I've been really getting into recently the voice actor Campbell Cooley, who's been on Power Rangers since SPD. He did like one monster in SPD, and then every season he kind of did more and more, and now he's like the Loop voice actor director. Which the Loop artists are the people who do like background noise. So if they're in like a mall, there has to be like voices in the background, people talking. And so like that's what he directs is like the Loop stuff. And he's really good. He was one of the main villains, or the villain in the second half, and I can't remember, Malcor I think the name was, in Ninja Steel maybe. I'm gonna remember. He was
he's also Slither
in Dino Fury, Cosmo in Ninja Steel, and then Scrozzle in Beast Morphers. And Scrozzle has a very weird backstory, which kind of no one knows about. But Evox, or Venjix as we know, found him in the cyber dimension, and he is just like hiding out, doing his own thing. And he's hiding from Vargoyle, this monster that he used to work with. And there's no explanation of where he came from, why he exists, who he is. He just has an army of robots and like robot Zords, for lack of better terms. Just like he's been creating this for years.
And no one knows why.
No one knows
we
why.
don't know why.
Hanging out.
And we don't know where he came from. And so my thing I was going to talk with you guys about is I'm trying to determine, because I have a theory, but I don't want it to be like it's just an easy explanation, because I don't think he's a part of the Machine Empire, because the Machine Empire, he is like a robot, but the Machine Empire never like went to a different dimension.
Yeah.
Well, they could have been a testing subject for that.
Maybe.
Because, they're always exploring new ways to conquer. Always.
It's true. Well, the only thing I can think of is jumping into VR Troopers, a member of, my brain's going nuts. Grimlord from VR Troopers, and like the VR Troopers eventually just wiped out everybody, and he was just like running away, hiding. And he just all these years he's been building up an army, basically ready to just defend himself. And then
when the time comes,
Injex comes in.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of that really makes sense to me, because I don't think Machine Empire is the right answer. And I can't really think of anything else that's,
Yeah, Yeah, I mean
Makes sense.
the Machine Empire kind of just like fizzled out in Lost Galaxy. Wait, was it Lost Galaxy? Forever Red? Wild Force.
Wild
that was
Force.
That's
Yeah.
Force.
That was kind of their last hurrah.
Yeah.
Of like, this is all we got left.
I think that was their last hit on them.
But so that's what I'm really interested in. I would love to see if they ever tell you the backstory, because currently, at the end of Beast Morphers, Scrozzle escaped to Corinth, the RPM world, and they found him, which is easy to explain because they're used to dealing with robots.
Yes.
So they detected him right away, got him, and brought him back to Grid Battle Force. And right now he's just held captive, or he's just basically imprisoned at Grid Battle Force.
What if if Zed goes back to Grid Battle Force, gets his staff, gets Scrozzle's army,
mm-hmm.
and then because you said he has an army in there.
Oh, and he knows how to build things.
Yes, he knows how to build things.
Very handy.
Be the new Finster.
He could be the Finster.
Yeah,
he Zed didn't actually have a Finster. Like, he had Finster once he got there, but he never really had a Finster before that. He was conquering galaxies without a Finster. So this could be his Finster.
Right. And
then it would become the Machine Empire because they go back in time and he takes them with him.
What if like all what we're saying is like hitting the nail on the head, and like a year from now we're like,
we're sitting there like, oh man, we ruined it.
I mean, I didn't realize how like interesting Scrozzle is as a character, because he has manners, which is weird for a villain. Like, he whenever Blaze and Roxy would mouth off to him, they would say like, make that get that Gigadrone now, and he'd be like, you should say please. And then they're like, please, and he's like, that's better, and then he does it. It's like, and it's funny, he's like, yeah, he's very big on manners, he wants people to be polite. But that also raises the question of how evil is he,
right?
What if he was a creation from the robot from the cyborg from Time Force?
Oh, Frax.
What if he's a Frax creation?
Ooh, that's interesting, because Frax is a builder.
Yeah,
and
with Time Force, they're going in and out of time.
Yeah, they have
hitting a
they have access to time.
Clearly, could be
that.
It could be a testing project. It could be a testing project. It could. It could have been a testing project. He could have been like the first testing project, and like ended up in the cyber dimension, and working off of that, and then building onto that, and then Evox showed up, because clearly you can get there from other dimensions. So
Interesting.
But and apparently, I mean, in the cyber dimension, Scrozzle is like the only living being in the cyber dimension at the time.
That living is like, loosely saying living. Like, he could, he could just be a cyborg altogether himself, or he could be, an android, or could just be a man in a metal suit.
Well, and that's maybe he's part man, part. I mean, we don't know really. They really never explain much about him. Yeah. I mean, I think because, like you said, Zed has to go to Grid Battle Force to get his staff, and Scrozzle's there, and we really haven't gotten a full story of Scrozzle yet.
Maybe,
and
maybe this is his story be told here.
Yeah,
could be.
Hey, that would be great. I mean, I would love that. But yeah, I don't know. He's an interesting character, and I mean, I kind of just moved past him. Didn't think much about him.
Well, you don't think about it until someone until someone either points it out to you or something like that. You're like, oh,
or you rewatch it.
Right.
You might rewatch it and be like, interesting.
Well,
like, hello.
And it was brought to my attention from the voice actor Campbell Cooley actually commented on one of my videos, and I was like, this name sounds familiar. And I looked up his YouTube channel, and he has a video where he talks about that. And he doesn't give any like spoilers or anything that is going to happen, or I mean, I don't think he even knows what's going to happen, but he's just like, I love this character, and like, where's he from? Why was he in Corinth? What's going on? It's really, there's a lot of
like the fact
questions.
That he fell in love with the character and like actually talking about it and stuff, which is great.
He's wonderful to watch. He he has a whole story where he talks about like he's been on the show for years, and around the time of Ninja Steel, he said he just realized like you go, it's a job, you go in, you record, you do what you're supposed to.
Right.
And he said during filming that he kind of stopped and went, oh my gosh, I'm a part of something like really big. This is big. And he went back and he binge watched Mighty Morphin all the way through Dino Thunder.
Oh man,
just himself, which most actors don't do, which is, I understand, but he really like got into it. And like, you'll ask him like, what's your favorite season? He says Time Force, and he'll tell you, it's, so he's really cool to watch. And he has like videos where he's just talking about some random stuff. And he has one video where he talks about his audition to get on Dino Fury as Mr. Wiz. He plays Mr. Wiz, does the whole thing. So it's just cool. He kind of gives you a little behind the scenes of it on his channel.
All right, I'll link it down below in the descriptions and stuff.
Yeah,
got you. That's really cool. To be fair with you,
yeah.
Like I love it when actors like get into the role and stuff, like get into the fan verse and everything else, and they're feeding the flames of the fire for conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
And I like it. It's good. It's really, really good.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I've been watching his interviews and stuff, and he really has an appreciation for the fandom, and he likes the speculations of like, oh, what's going to happen next? Who knows? He's into it. It's kind of cool. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Thanks for listening to this episode of Zeo to Hero with our guest Casey from Power Rangers Conspiracy Theories. Did I say that right?
Mighty Morphing Conspiracy
Mighty Morphing
Theories.
Conspiracy.
Billy, get out of here.
That's a conspiracy within itself.
That's why I don't have nice things. Billy.
Yeah. Thanks again, Casey, for coming on. And man, what a bunch of rabbit holes in this golf course we went through.
You ain't lying.
Do you have any last words, plugs?
No, just that I have my channel, Mighty Morphing Conspiracy Theories, where I do a lot of theory, really deep dive theory videos, and they are all things that I truly think could happen. So they're fun. I like them. I also have some videos where I really dive deep into the episodes of Dino Fury, and it's like we're talking about who each character is and who these actors and actresses are and what have they been in before and are they connected to Power Rangers. And it's those aren't the most popular videos, but I love getting into the weeds and that stuff. It's really fun. So yeah, check it out if you're interested. And thanks for having me on, guys. This is always a blast to do this with you. Seriously, it's so much fun.
We love having you on too.
Yeah,
we really do. We like having you on because we can just hang out and chit chat for a while.
Oh, man, especially like this. Oh my god. Oh,
it's like I think I said this. Maybe I said this last time, but it's like playing a good tennis. It's like playing tennis against people who are good.
Oh yeah.
Like if you ever played tennis with someone who sucks, it's like you hit it over the net and then they hit it into the net, and you're like, okay. And then they serve and they hit it into the net, and you're like, okay, all right. And then you hit it over, and then they hit it out of bounds, and you're like, okay, God. It's like, it's not fun. No. It's not fun to play with someone who's really bad. So when we could just go down rabbit holes and it's like, we all know what we're talking about, man, it's so much fun.
Win.
Oh yeah, it's great.
That's a win.
I love it, man. I like having you on. I really like having you on because talk about stuff. It's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love it, man.
What about you, Jim? You got anything else?
Anything else? I got a couple things, but for the most part, thanks for showing up. We'll appreciate you being here. Thanks everyone listening, and I don't know if I'll make this into a video yet. Thinking about it, I don't know just yet. It's an hour and a half long video for 3 people. It's gonna get a little weird. Besides that, though. Follow us on the socials and whatnot, and I'll put bells and stuff everywhere for the stuffs.
Yeah. And remember, go give us a 5-star or rank us and leave a comment. Definitely love to see.
And subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe.
Like go follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube, or subscribe to YouTube. Hit the bell icon. Follow us on TikTok. We can't say it real fast because YouTube gets mad if you mention TikTok at all.
Oh yeah.
And takes you out of the algorithm. And you can follow us on our Facebook page, and you can follow the Facebook group as well.
Yeah.
And we got Discord, by the way. If you want to join the Discord, it's discord.zeotohero.com.
Yeah.
And it takes you right to our server.
And
right.
On that note, let's play the closing now. Hey, Billy here. If you're liking the show, give us a rating and review. It helps us in the algorithm to be easily found by fans and creators. You can find us at zeotohero.com and follow us on all our social medias with zeotoheropod and on TikTok at Z2HPod.
Yeah, I started watching Samurai on like the YouTube channel, and I will say the acting is pretty bad. Like I always give it a break. I always try to give Power Rangers a break, but like Jaden, it's rough. It's pretty like
you'll like Lauren. She's pretty good, and you'll like Antonio and Mike. And those are the three that kind of stand out. And
right.
The rest of them, and Master G. I like Master G. Master G is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
Mike is like, if Mike just had a super thick like Boston or New Jersey accent, I'd be like, this is the guy, makes sense.
Yeah,
he just kind of has
like,
that flair.
Like a monster pops up, he's like, he comes like, hey, whoa, chill out for a second. You don't go around, hey, whoa.
Oh.
You talk about my cousin Vinny's pizza parlor like that, I'll go over to break your freaking legs.
That would have been great. Hey. I don't know. He gives off that energy a little bit.
Yeah.
I love it.
Vibe,